Welcome back to Stickshift. I'm your host, Ethan Parker. This is a 2024 Lotus Emira. I can't believe I get to drive this thing today.
I'm really glad that cop didn't want to pull me over. That's awesome.
We are in sunny Southern California on the perfect road with the perfect conditions.
Come on. Come on.
The Lotus Emira. This is the only car on sale today that is mid-engine, manual transmission, 400 horsepower or more for less than $1 million. And just look at it. There is a trick to getting into this car to try to not look like an idiot. Turn around, butt in first, and then come squeeze in. Look how wide this is down here. It's like 6 inches between you and the rocker panel, and it just keeps on getting wider until it gets down to your feet. There's like a 2-inch dead pedal. The clutch is right there, the brake is right there. I hope you don't have big feet. And remember, only 50 kilograms in this trunk, so body parts only, no entire bodies. So in case you didn't know, every modern Lotus starts with an E. Elise, Elan, Evora, Emira. They don't want you to get them confused. This car has more car model logos on it than I've ever seen in my entire life. The steering wheel, the dashboard, the friggin' air vent, and then on the side of the car too. It's literally everywhere. One thing you'll see on multi-million-dollar hypercars is exposed shifter linkage. This is only $100,000, but you get exposed shifter linkage. You can see stuff happening down there. It is a little obscured by this grate, but it's still there and it's cool. One more premium feature you get from Lotus for only 100 grand is a covered starter button. Look at this. This red sort of like aviation launch kind of thing. You lift it up, it soft closes, so beautiful. And then you press the button, hear that supercharger whine.
For those of you who don't know, a supercharger is driven by the engine through a belt, and it compresses air, shoves it back into the engine, and you get more power. I think Lotus went out of their way to make this car just feel a little bit different, a little bit special. The volume knob is down here in a funny place. The steering wheel has like 5 more inches of space on top than it does on the bottom. But it feels really cool when you go hand over hand. And just like a Lotus should be, it is fantastic in the corners. Handles really flat, the seats are super supportive. Not a lot of understeer that I can tell.
This is the first Lotus I have ever driven. I feel lucky to be able to drive a modern one. It's really great. But one thing about that British build quality is you never know what's gonna be rickety and twisty, and I don't know what to think of this shifter twisting around like this, but you sort of just like twist it hard to the right and it stops spinning.
I don't know if it's an intentional choice or if it was just the result of slapping stuff together like Lotus always does. But first gear is exceptionally low. You are out of steam at like 30 miles an hour, and the second gear is really quite tall. So you redline it in first gear, and then you shift into second, and the best you've got is like 3,000 RPM or something. Well out of the car's power band. As we all know, the manual transmission is dying, and that is very, very sad. This is one of the very few nice sports cars, especially mid-engine sports cars, that still has a manual transmission, and that is awesome. So I can't fault the car for that. I love the car for that. I love Lotus for doing this. To me, there's just a couple fatal flaws in the Lotus Emira that would prevent me from ever buying one. I'm so sorry, Lotus. I love the blue. I love that it's supercharged. I could be wrong, but I think the engine might have too heavy of a flywheel. You know, I've never been a mechanical engineer or anything, but it's just when you rev the engine, it kind of like, whoa, it doesn't rev very fast. It feels like a Honda Accord engine or a Toyota Camry engine, which it is.
Well, Chris, your countrymen did exactly what we thought they would do. A hand-built sports car that, frankly, I thought would have a lot more power. The shifter's clunky, the brakes are not super confidence-inspiring, but I absolutely love it. Look at that blue. Look at the logo, black and yellow, just like Stickshift. Thank you for watching Stickshift. We'll see you next time.